Hey y'all, my name is Christian. I'm a millennial, and this is the Millennial Mind. Millennials get a bad rap for being lazy, non-productive members of society. We also get told that our opinions are warped and don't matter. This podcast is designed to express a point of view on the world as a whole, but from a millennial's perspective. I will talk about love, current events, pretty much everything that comes to mind. Come join me on this journey on speaking my mind, and I would love for you to speak your mind as well. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of The Millennial Mind. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of speaking my mind, and I hope that all of you are speaking your minds as well. I am so excited because I have a special guest on this week's episode of the podcast. It is a good friend of mine. I say it, she. She is a good friend of mine. Her name is Renee B. Renee. Yay! So I'm going to give her some time to introduce herself. And yeah, she can go from there and talk about all of the things. Okay.
Hi, as she mentioned, my name is Renee B. Renee. I've known this young lady, God, what's this, 2020? 2008?
Wow.
2008, we were freshmen, right?
Ooh.
And we met in college, and we met through mutual friends. And you can say that we have an interesting relationship when it comes to the way we communicate and things. Like y'all probably get a little glimpse of it throughout this conversation, but she's been a part of my world for the last 12 years now. So I held her on this long. See how long, how long it'll be. I don't know.
You know what?
But I am thrilled to be here. It's an honor, and I'm thrilled to speak to you guys and for y'all to kind of get an idea of who I am and what I'm about. So thanks for listening.
Yay! Well, welcome. I'm so happy to have you on this week's episode. Now, this week's episode is going to be a little bit different because we're just going to talk about various topics because I believe that Renee B. Renee has a lot to say. Oh, that rhymes. Renee B. Renee has a lot to say.
Good night. Girl.
So we are just going to get right into it. The first thing that I feel we should get off our chest is this whole coronavirus thing.
Are you talking about Rona?
Good old Rona. Let's talk about her.
Okay, well, the black delegation has affectionately named her Rona. And I gave her the pronoun her, she. But I think that the coronavirus, the COVID-19, Rona, whatever you want to call it, I think that it is probably one of the most serious things that we've seen thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people understand how it's being transmitted. Like, you don't really realize where germs are and where they come from. Like, this is not an AIDS epidemic. This is not a sexually transmitted disease.
Right.
If I sneeze on you and have coronavirus, the Rona, you too have coronavirus.
Exactly.
That's it. That's how it is transmitted. Do you know I have not used profanity in about 15 years, and it will be the day if somebody sneeze or cough on me and they're going to see a whole new side of Renee B. Renee in the name of Jesus. Okay. But I think we just have to, because I find myself using a lot of sanitizer, hand sanitizer, washing my hands a lot more often, and being mindful of the things that I touch, the places that my hands are going, because she's everywhere.
Right. She.
I
love it.
She's everywhere, and that's the thing. Look, Rona, I don't want no smoke. I want no smoke with you at all. I just want to go to work. I just want to take care of my family. I ain't got no family. I just want to take care of my family, y'all. And Rona out here trying to just interrupt some stuff. But hey, for the people out there affected, I am praying for you. You know, good old Tom Hanks over there in Australia, quarantine.
And that's the point where you knew ish got real.
Yeah, come on, Tom Hanks. He was Woody on Toy Story. He ain't deserved that.
Mr. Rogers.
Oh yeah, he sure was. And but the good thing is, it's Tom Hanks. He quarantined in Australia. Probably got a view of the darn Sydney Opera House out there, and still eating kangaroo legs for lunch. So he is just fine. But I'm just saying. Oh, maybe not kangaroo legs. I'm sorry.
That was like the most countryest thing. Not the kangaroo legs.
Yeah, but he in Australia, you know, down under, so.
But, and you know what? It's just amazing how so many people are just fearful of this virus, where they are buying out the water and the hand sanitizer I can get.
Why? Water?
The water, because you have to keep, yourself hydrated. So that makes sense.
You have it. Everybody needs to be buying up no water ever. So what you saying is all America got clear urine right now. That's what you're saying. They should. They better.
Then them bought Costco, size, cases of water and toilet tissue.
I cannot fathom the toilet tissue and the water.
You know what?
Well, you know what? Because the schools are shutting down. Mm-hmm. So I get it. But still.
But you know what? Somebody told me about the tissue today. They said because China makes our tissue, then they feel like since China is shut down from the whole coronavirus, they don't have anyone to manufacture the tissue. That means that we don't get tissue.
So what if Rona in the tissue, and then what?
Girl. And then, also, like, China is the source of our whole existence. Like, we get more than just toilet tissue from China. We get our food, we get the tilapia, we get the shrimp, the chicken. All of that comes from China. So pretty much we're screwed. If China shuts down, we shut down too.
And that's a shame for us to be one of the most powerful empires in the world, to rely on another country to source.
Girl, and China knows that.
And the funny thing, and I'm glad you mentioned China, because I used to joke around all the time and say, the phones we have, the technology that we possess, China, because it's been proven your phone can do more than you think it can do.
Exactly.
Because we've seen it. People unlocking phones, changing, manipulating stuff. So we know our phone. I said this a long time ago. I said, China, they got too much power. Your shoes, your clothes, everything is made in China.
Yep.
The Chinese empire gonna press one button and we all gonna wipe out.
Yep.
That's just how it is. Because we don't make anything in the USA.
Yep. Very few things.
I'm just like, that part blows my mind. And I'm just like, and then, obviously the coronavirus, we out here, China shutting down, things like that. So yeah, now we understand that we need to start manufacturing our own stuff.
Hello.
It's like when you run into one of your friends and she trying to depend on her man. No, honey. Take care of yourself. Go out there and get you a job. Learn you a trade and do something. So that's just how I feel about that situation. It's just like it's putting a whole lot of things into perspective for me just now. So
yeah, we gonna need the whole Rona. You need to pack up your stuff and go, please and thank you.
Rona,
please Rona. For all of us,
please.
Okay, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about this election. Let's talk about Uncle Joe. Let's talk about Carrot Head Trump. Let's talk about Grandpa Bernie. Let's talk about it all. What do you think, Miss Renee, about this election? You should see her face.
Because I have to explain to the people why.
Explain to the people.
Why I'm taking such a personal approach to it, and for those who don't know, because you don't know, I serve in the United States Army. So what that means for me is whomever is the president of the United States is also my commander in chief. So to me, when it comes to the election, it is more than who has the longest bankroll. Mm-hmm. It's more than who has the savviest talk. Mm-hmm. It's more than who has the most bull-crappiest promises and open-ended bargains and things like that. Mm-hmm. Because I think that President Trump single-handedly changed the face of politics as we've known it.
Absolutely.
And I think that we need to get back to common practices because, you know, back in the day, the first president, I believe George Washington, was in the Army. He was a commander. He had some military background. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that the president of the United States need to have a military background. I'm not saying you need to enlist or serve and all that stuff. What I'm saying is you need to have some kind of consciousness about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Because when you send out troops to deploy and do things like that, you have to understand that it's not just the troops that you're affecting. We troops are one of many. We have families. Right. We have careers. Right. We're trying to do things in our lives. And I think it's important that the sitting president of the United States understands the magnitude of his position. Mm-hmm. And then I also think that he first and foremost, at the very, very least, or the cusp of who he's trying to become, have some background in politics. Mm-hmm. Today, I feel like politics and celebrityness and success is based upon how long your bankroll is. If you look at Bloomberg and President Trump couldn't say too much about Mike Bloomberg. Why? Because Mike Bloomberg is worth about $60 billion.
Right, and they're friends. I believe they're friends, or, you know, they run in the same circle, like you said.
Girl, so the circle.
The circle.
So what she's referring to is the good old boys. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, I'm pretty sure Bloomberg was in it. Old Bernie Sanders was in it. Joe Biden, President Trump. Mm-hmm. These were the people that I guarantee sat around with their friends that look just like them. Draw your own conclusions. That look just like them. And they done called us everything under the sun but a child of God. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the election, I feel like you have to choose the lesser of the evils. Mm-hmm. Because, to be honest, what do we really know about Joe Biden besides the fact he was the vice president? Mm-hmm. And before Joe Biden even came into play, what was he doing? Like, I do know one interesting thing about Joe Biden. His son, who died, actually deployed the night that President Obama got elected the first time. Yeah, he deployed to Iraq, I believe, out of Fort Bliss, Texas, the night President Obama got elected the first night. Yeah, so Biden has a little background on military service. Bernie, if you look back on some old photos, you see Bernie in black and white photos in Chicago, you know, being in jail for the civil rights movement. So, you know, Bernie down, I get it. But the difference between Bernie and Joe for me is that Bernie just oozes passion. Yeah. He oozes passion. His love for this country, for the American people, is unprecedented. Yep. And that's the thing we need. And that's one thing that helped President Obama. Mm-hmm. He was the least likely of candidates to ever make it. Right. And all he had was a hope and a prayer and a little bit of passion. Mm-hmm. And we, as the American people, gave him that chance. I don't feel like anybody wants to give anybody a chance. Nobody wants President Trump in office, and yet nobody's standing up and saying anything. That, girl, it's I can't. It's just it's too much. And then it's like our children have to grow up and live in a world that is not governed on its principles anymore. Right. So what are we really doing here? Right. So, girl, that election, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'm voting for whomever is running against President Trump. that is where I stand right now today, because I just strongly feel that the presidency, the seat of presidency is not about power. You are the face of the American people. You are our representative. You are our leader. You are someone that is supposed to be making the big calls and doing the decisions. Not somebody that's talking about the coronavirus is just a little flu and it'll go away when the weather warm up. So that's
you know what? Every time I hear Trump say a speech, I feel like his speech writers give him something, and then, he starts looking at it and he's like, forget it. I can wing this. I got this. And then he just spits foolishness.
Girl, okay.
It's just foolishness. All
really
after that.
Sitting there like... Because he probably be trying to write his own speeches, and like in school.
Oh, I bet he does.
Like
I bet
school,
he does.
When your teacher gives your, when you write a paper at school and your teacher got all them red marks, that's him. That's his speech. Then he all embarrassed and don't want to say nothing, so he just like, you know what? I don't even care. So I'm convinced. But it is an interesting time in our lives, I tell you that.
Very.
So we just gotta watch, fight, and pray.
That's all we can do, and that's how I feel. I feel like, I'm voting pretty much for the lesser of the two evils. Like Trump, definitely not. Major evil for me.
We definitely have to get out to the polls and vote. But I think people also need to understand how voting works. Because President Trump probably does not understand this principle either. But the thing that we need to know about the voting process is when we cast our ballot, it's not to elect the president. Those are the popularity votes.
Right.
We as the American people spoke. When Hillary and President Trump ran, the people did vote.
Exactly.
But Hillary Clinton, she got the popularity vote. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, we have something called an electoral college.
Right.
Those are the ones voting on our behalf.
Speak on it.
So that's when they say you got to get, a certain number of electoral votes to win the presidency. That's what we talking about. So when them other little elections come out, I don't give a darn about the presidential seat, because it's the electoral college that we need to be worried about.
Exactly.
So if we are a Democratic blue state, then my freaking electoral representative better be a Democrat.
Exactly.
Democracy.
Exactly.
You need to vote Democrat.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. People need to understand. Yeah, we are voting. Yeah, our voice matters. But that's the thing. And if he'd have known that, he wouldn't have made that comment of whether people voted for me. No, the F, we did not. We voted for Hillary Rodham Clinton. And that's just the truth about it. And I think that Google, I strongly urge you guys to Google to figure out how to elect your electoral college, because it's a certain number per state that goes and casts the ballots on your behalf. Right. So that's the part that we need to be focused on the electoral college, because that's the people that get your president in there. Your vote matters, because you're gonna okay, well, this many people didn't want me in office. Yeah. Right. So, but I think that's a very pivotal piece of information. So look it up, your electoral college for whatever state you're living in, and figure out how to get your state to be against President Trump. Unless you're a Trump supporter, and then I'm praying for you.
She didn't have to put out the Trump supporters like that.
Because it's people that supporting them. You got black people supporting them.
Yes. Avidly. I have cousins. I'm not going to mention no names, but I got cousins who support Trump, and they are avid Trump supporters.
And that's just the way it is. And I'm praying. That's all you can say.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. Okay. Let's switch another gear. So, let's get a little personal.
Oh, boy.
So, let's talk about our fondest. That's not.
What?
not a word. I'll be goofing up my words. Let's talk about the fondest memory that we've had of each other. You go first.
Fondest memory or funniest memory?
Either.
Okay.
Don't spit out too many.
No. I'm trying to think because there's so many. If y'all don't know, this girl is hilarious.
I am not.
And she hilarious to the point where she doesn't even know that she's hilarious. But I'm a switch gears because I know you're expecting me to say something funny. But I'm going to say that the fondest memory of you will be your wedding day.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm gonna say why.
What? And you know what? I'm hearing this for the first time as you guys are, so I am shocked.
This is why I'm switching gears.
What?
I'm gonna say your wedding day. And reason being, one, I was salty AF because I wasn't in the wedding, but I was deployed that year. I had gotten deployed the year that she was planning the wedding, so I forgave her for that. But yeah, it was just for me seeing you in a place where I know you wanted to be. This was a man that you loved so much, and we've had countless conversations through college, through law school, military for me, and in that moment to watch you walk down the aisle and to have you light up, and then the song you walk down to, You For Me, and I was like, oh, I wanted that song for my wedding. And then when I finally met your groom, and the way he lit up, and I approached him and I was like, hey, I'm Renee B. Renee. And he's like, oh my gosh, she talks about you all the time. Come in here. And that made me feel so good. Because I'm like, she do like me, y'all. She really do. So that was I think I cried. I think that was the first wedding I cried at. And
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think I bawled. I think a thug teardrop. But yeah,
what?
it was that was probably one of your finest moments, because I was thrilled when you passed the bar, I was thrilled when you graduated law school, but seeing you there, I was like, man, this is where she wanted to be. And we've had many conversations about relationships, and that's
Lord Jesus,
and that's what brought it into perspective. Like, your wedding day was it. And I think I came home just for your wedding. I wasn't even on leave.
You know what? And that sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
I put in leave for your wedding. I was home for that weekend.
Oh my God, she's gonna make me cry, y'all.
Girl, nobody got time for that.
I am not gonna cry.
I know you wanted me to say something funny.
You can. You can.
But that was probably my fondest memory. Like,
what?
You looked absolutely stunning, and you were just. And then, we got this thing about when we haven't seen each other, we just bawl our eyeballs
Oh
out.
my gosh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so we were just standing there crying, and everybody looking like, what the hell?
And I'm just ruining my makeup.
Yeah, and I'm just, so, we cry when we see each other, y'all.
Aww.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing this, so I'm not going to cry. I'm going to keep it together.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it together. Now, my turn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The fondest memory, I actually have two of them.
Oh, Lord.
I have two.
So scared.
So, the first one is when I went to your graduation party for college. Your college graduation party.
Okay.
You were wearing a purple dress.
Yes, I was. And purple shoes.
Yes, I remember. And to see you just so happy, and I know that particular year you had went through a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot.
Yes, ma'am.
And to see you actually make it over the finish line and just be happy that you were making it over the finish line and that you had accomplished this goal that you had for so many years.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta be there. I don't care what's going on. I have to be there.
Yeah.
So I drove. How long did I drive? I think I drove almost an hour.
Yeah.
To get to your party.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I could not miss it. And I still have video of you dancing. I don't know what song you was dancing to.
It probably looked a hot food.
No, you didn't.
Because I dance at the drop of a dime, but baby, I can't dance, but I do enjoy it. Girl, don't be having them videos of me out there like that.
You know what? I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, Lord.
I have it in my stash. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, send it over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then my second fondest memory is when you went to the military. You went into boot camp, and you sent me my first letter. I cried. I still have it.
What did I say?
I still have it.
Oh, boy.
I still have it. And you know what? I should have brought it.
Yeah,
I should have brought it because I don't remember everything that you said, but it was very encouraging.
How I'm encouraging you when I need an encouragement? That don't make no sense.
I mean, but that's how it usually happens when
Yeah.
It was just I just remember crying.
Oh,
That's
girl.
pretty much it.
Oh.
Because I was like, well, first of all, I was crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, she thought of me because I know that, she had a lot of other people, she could have written, and I'm sure she did. Her time was, of course, spent being yelled at and being mentally abused, I'm sure. But she took time to write a letter to little old me. And
I was writing them letters like a daggum robot. I was like, I don't want to think about nothing. Who else I can write? Shoot. I was going through it, and that's writing was my escape because I couldn't. You know me, I love to read, so it's not like I could be there trying to read a whole book. So anytime I got any downtime, I'm writing, in my diary, or I'm writing somebody a letter. I'm like, I need to get out of here. So I'm just sitting here like, and I wrote often, and I was sending letters out by the buttloads, and I'm like, and I didn't get a letter till maybe almost a couple of weeks later, and I was like, dang, don't nobody even love me. Like, so it took me a while to receive my first letter. I'm like, I done wrote all these heifers, and ain't nobody brought me back. And I because I'm in the process of moving right now, but I do believe I have all of my letters and things tucked away in a box.
Do you?
I do believe I do.
Lord,
I'm gonna have to find them.
I think I wrote you at least one letter.
Girl, yeah, you did. That
Lord.
darn handwriting. God, dog.
You know what? Everybody talks about my handwriting because...
Is it even handwriting?
It
It looks like hieroglyphic.
No, it's not. Okay, so when I was taught how to write, I was taught in cursive first. So that's how I primarily write. Like, I was not taught print. I had to teach myself how to print. No lie.
Girl, that's hieroglyphic. And then I'm opposite. I was never formally taught how to write in cursive. So cursive. So my form of writing is more so I'm just like manually connecting the letters to make it look like cursive. But I was never formally taught how to write in cursive.
Now you have really pretty handwriting though. I can understand it and everything. Cause
Thanks.
mine, sometimes I'll be looking at it and
Girl,
like, what the did
girl,
I write?
I need
What
one
was
of them,
I?
I need the code.
You know what?
And
Forget you.
You know how to legend
Forget
at the
you.
bottom of the screen. Like that's I'm like, okay,
Forget
A
you.
is this, and then so yeah, your handwriting needs to be prayed over.
You know what? Forget her. You know what? We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna pray over this girl, and then we gonna come right back.
This podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, even on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, you can download the Anchor app. That's ANCHOR.fm or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey y'all, we're back. So I tried to pray for Miss Renee, but there is not a lot of hope left for her. Girl. So we're just gonna keep going with our little potpourri of topics. So the next thing we're going to talk about is relationships. Now, what joins us, well, one of the things that joins myself and Miss Renee, other than our astonishingly good looks.
Oh,
see, I can never get that right.
Well, too bad.
You know what? Okay. But other than that, we are joined together by the fact that we are involved with older men. And Miss Renee, even more, not only is she involved with someone who is an older man, but someone who is of a different race. So I'm just going to let her talk about her experience, and then I'll jump in, and then we'll go from there.
That sounds so funny. Someone of a different race. He not Chinese, y'all. He don't have the Rona.
Whatever.
He just a typical fine young Caucasian man.
Lord, talk about him.
So I think he's fantastic. Now he came at a time in my life where I was just in a hopeless place. Didn't care about love, F everything that got to do with love. I ain't got time. I'm out here trying to figure out what it is I want to do with my life. And he just came along and showed me possibilities and opportunities to expand and be more. Because, you know, us as women, we're naturally nurturers. We want to nurture, we want to give and give and give. And I think, or I thought, that I had given my love up. Somebody done ran off with all my stuff, like in For Color Girls. And it's just, I didn't know. And ironically enough, that's probably how and why the relationship is going as strong as it did, because neither one of us had hope in the beginning. It was more so of okay, I mean, even he said, I just, if it didn't work out, thought, we can hang out every now and then. I'm like, boy, you couldn't resist the chocolate.
You know what?
But our first meeting, it was more so of a, because he asked me, he's like, so what are you doing on Wednesday night? And I answered too quickly, y'all. Y'all would have revoked my black card, okay? And I was like, nothing. And I'm like, dang, B, you okay? So I was like, nothing. He's like, so you want to meet me somewhere Wednesday night? I'm like, okay. So we met up, y'all, and don't tell nobody I told y'all this, but so we having dinner, and we having a good conversation, and I choke. I mean, straight up cough, like tears streaming down my face, like choked on some daggone, I think it was salmon, y'all.
You know what?
So, yeah, I was choking, and he was just like, his eyes got so big, like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. I just died a little. But
You're
it's all
such
good.
a clown.
I died, but it's okay. I'm
Such
back.
a clown.
But that night, we ended up talking till about 2 a.m. And we were standing in the parking lot still thinking about places that, we could still go to talk. And it was for the first time where I just felt like nobody wanted anything in return. Like, he just really, really wanted just to have that type of conversation. And it was just that. There was no touching, no kiss, no nothing. It was just a strict conversation that just flowed. He say something, I say something. I say something, he say something. And then, oh yeah, agreeing and disagreeing. So it was a phenomenal first meeting. And then for the first 2 weeks, he and I only seen each other twice a week. Yeah, I just think he's just a fantastic human being. I really do. And I try not to give him a hard time. I haven't given him a hard time, I don't think, but...
You know what?
I don't think.
Well, you know what? My experience with an older man was pretty much similar to yours.
Like, my husband just got out of a relationship. He was divorced. So his view on relationships and just people in general was like, F them. I don't want to be around them. I just rather be by myself. like pretty much that was his view.
Yeah.
And then we met. What was strange about our relationship is that I actually met him before I met him again, if that makes sense.
Sorry, what?
So
that was confusing.
So let me explain it this way. So my husband, he actually took my prom pictures in 2008.
Girl, don't you about to say something else?
No.
He took your prom pictures.
He took my prom pictures.
What you mean?
My mom, she was looking for somebody to take my prom pictures, and her coworker said, "Hey, my brother, he's into photography." That brother was my husband.
Look at God.
Hello.
Look at him.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Hello. So I remember him taking my pictures, but it was like, okay, that's just the weird guy.
It wasn't no fall from grace type of stuff, was it?
You know what? That was a good movie,
yes,
too.
Yes, it was.
That was an excellent movie.
I hope he wasn't on no fall from grace type stuff.
Girl, you know what? If so, it's too late now.
You're okay? Because when you say half everything belongs to me.
Hello? Every day I tell him, like, I'm just trying to get your pension. I'm just trying to get vested. I'm just trying to get vested. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, all right then.
But yeah, so he took my prom pictures, and we met again 5 years later.
Jesus.
And yeah, and we kind of just hit it off. He was one of the first men that I met, other than my father, that I could have an intellectual conversation with.
Oh my, intellectual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And not just intellectual, but just more fruitful. Maybe I should say that. A more fruitful conversation.
Yeah.
And we talked, and he was definitely patient, because I think when he met me the second time, I was 22. So I'm still trying to figure out life,
baby.
I know! Just a little something, a little big head something, didn't know nothing. I thought I knew everything.
Know. Girl, I know.
You know what?
I know.
You don't have to add all that. But, yeah, I thought I knew everything. And, he was saying, like, yeah, you really don't.
Yeah.
But he was just so patient and kind, and still is. And, like, even the intimacy. And, I'm not just talking about sex, but the intimacy was different. I enjoyed being around him. I enjoyed his conversation.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. This is a human being that I genuinely enjoy being around. Like, we've never had an argument.
Oh, girl, I can't say the same about me.
We have never had an argument.
That's a blessing from God. Girl.
And I don't think I've ever angered him. And he's never, like, angered me. But I may have, my voice may have elevated a time or two, but it was never a back and forth. He's never said anything disrespectfully, never touched me in an inappropriate way. He has respected me to the utmost. And I think that's what's important, for you to feel like a lady, for you to feel like a woman in your relationship is what we want.
Right.
And that was the thing about him, was he was the first guy that I've actually been with that seemed to have it together.
Yes.
I said,
amen
I'm
to
like,
that.
you got a house and a car, and you still got money left over,
and you can read.
Okay.
Your ABCs, 1, 2, 3s.
And I'm like, and you like to travel, and you got a trade, and you got a career, and you're single, and you want me. All right then. Let me see what you can do then. So, and I think for him being in that relationship, for him, I think I have been a constant force.
Mm-hmm.
Because he came from a situation, and he had kind of accepted it as his reality.
Yep.
And that's what I mean when I say my voice has elevated, because I want you to understand that you are something special, and don't let the ways of the world tear you down.
Exactly.
Like that type of volume. Because and I tell him, like, if we're having a conversation, I'm like, I'm coming to you as a friend, not your girlfriend, not the love of your life, but I need you to hear me with your heart and not just your ears. You're being stupid. Like, wake up, bro. And he accepts that. He welcomes that. And he understands that I'm not, and I do it in a way where I'm not belittling him. I'm not attacking his ego or his manliness or anything like that. It was just the fact that I see potential in you, but you won't do great until you see potential in yourself. And I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you. So it's like, wake up. Wake up. And that's the thing that probably makes us work the most. And we're just, I mean, besides the color, we're just opposite. We're the same, but we're opposite. Like, someone asked me one time, well, she asked, she's like, is he older, younger, or y'all the same age? I said, yes. She said, wait, what? I said, well, biologically, he's older. I said, when he's acting like a simpleton, he's younger. I said, but when we're out and having a good time, we're the same age. So he definitely embodies that. Right. And I think that's what's important. And I think, have fun in relationships. Be open in your relationship. And don't just turn your nose up because the guy's not who you thought it was. Because the Lord knows that I wasn't trying to be with somebody of this caliber. I'm going to just say it like that.
Me neither.
And, I wanted somebody my age, somebody black, somebody, husky, somebody, that knows.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying, but when you think about your ideal guy, do you see your husband? I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't picture my guy to be this guy, but I'm like, sometimes, I just have to open it up. Like, okay then. Yep. And I think that a lot of we are blocking our own blessings because the blessing is not what we pictured it to be. And that's the one thing. We just need to be open-minded. I'm not just saying go out there and date outside your race. I'm just saying take risk. That job you want, get it. That car you want, that vacation you want to take. Don't get on no plane right now. But that vacation you want to take.
Flights are cheap, though.
Because Rona on the loose.
I'm willing to take the risk.
So you trying to be like that meme. You'd rather die in Dubai than in your work bathroom. Got it. Okay. Baby, no. But but I just think that we have to take risk and recognize that what God has for you is for you, and it may not look like it's for you, but it is. You just have to see. Because, I mean, a year and a half ago, I would have never thought that he and I would be hitting it off as well as we are and, hanging out and actually enjoying each other's company. Because in this time that we've been together, we have never not spoken to each other. Every day, I better get a good morning. Every night, better be a good night. Yep. And that's how it is. Like, we don't see each other every day. But when we're together, he gives me his undivided attention, and that's what we need. Because you don't want to be out here campaigning, right? I shouldn't have to give you a speech every day on why I deserve your love or why I deserve you to be here. That's too much. Or why I feel like I'm just worth whatever. I'm not gonna do that. If you can't look at me from afar, or you can't be in my presence and realize that I'm a queen, then we don't have nothing to talk about. Exactly. And that's not to, say anything against, my exes or anything, because they all treated me well. It's just the fact that it's exhausting fighting in the ring by yourself. Yep. Somebody take the gloves off so the game is even over, because you can't fight somebody that's not going to fight back. Yep. So I think here is just like, and then, we only getting older, and we got old spirits anyway. Girl, it was inevitable. We do. It was inevitable. You dating Bernie and I got Joe. You know what? You better not talk about my husband.
But you know what? And that's true. And you know what? A lot of women, they complain like, oh, I can't find a good guy. Mm-hmm. But the good guys are literally like...
the dorky guy.
Exactly.
It's the guy with the freckles. It's the guy that doesn't look like... But that's the thing. My man fine. He always been fine. But I'm just saying... I think
mine is too.
Yeah, so if he happen to be not so fine one day or when you see him, good. That's mine. But but that's the thing. I had to be open because... And people tell me all the time, girl, I just knew you was going to be with a white boy. I didn't. Everybody knew that but me.
Yeah, no, a little inkling. I had a little inkling.
Do tell. We got time.
You know what? It was in college. In college, we would go to.
When I was playing with the boys, girl, we had number Caucasian boys.
We had a select few of black men that you could
take. Girl, them ghetto black folks. I don't want them. That probably no.
She would be always screaming for them white men.
Girl, screaming no.
Girl,
no.
Renee.
I'm just saying no. I have never been interested. Like we just had nobody to really look at when we went to school.
Lies. The lies she tells. She tells them all. She's telling them today.
No, but I don't know. Everybody said they saw it, so kudos to y'all. It was news to me. I'm still trying to get used to it. Like, dang, we really together?
Girl, bye. Bye.
Girl, got me a little white chocolate.
But you know what? I think, like, there are pros to being with, someone who's older. But I think there's also cons as well. So, like, for example... Now, don't judge me because I was sheltered. I was sheltered as a kid. So, I didn't listen to secular music. My husband, he got me hooked on 80s and 90s R&B. I'm like, where the heck have I been?
Girl.
Where did this music come from?
Oh, Lord.
Like, I didn't know about New Edition.
Girl.
I had no clue. I knew a little bit about Prince, but it was like, okay, that's that guy who's like into himself and wears scarves all the time and high heels.
Girl, I ain't never known this about you. That's crazy.
Girl, I didn't know none of
Meanwhile,
that.
I've been heathen of the world. I mean, I was sheltered, but in a different way. Like, my mother never said I couldn't do anything. It was more so, if you do it, I'm not going to help you get out of it type of situation.
Why does that sound like your mother?
No, because seriously, my mama never told me, literally, she never said don't do anything. And then it's like, if it do happen, then you better figure it out. So I was like, well, if I don't get no help, I ain't trying to do it either. So, and that was my thing. But I want, the cons to being with a Caucasian man, and this is probably just an internal battle that I'm having, but I think one of the biggest things that I'm wrestling with is the fact that I am with a Caucasian man.
So because being
a black woman in America with a white man in America, I feel like I have to work quadruple. You know what I'm saying? It's like I tell my nieces and my nephews and my godbaby all the time, you have to work twice as hard just to be seen.
Exactly.
Now, I have to be judged by his kind, by my kind. And they like, you know what they say when you with a white man, your credit score go up. My credit score was already good. Okay? It was already good. And then it's like, I feel like I have to have my own. This is mine. I want your help. I want your money. Cause at the end of the day, you can't say you gave me nothing. And that's why I love him so much, because I never asked him for anything. I don't require anything from him, and yet he always makes himself available. Trying to paint a house, I ain't asked him to do nothing. Oh, I can do that. We can put that right there. Do you, boo boo? And that's the thing. He stepped right in, and and he telling me all the time, like, I don't think I'm strong enough. You're doing a fantastic job, if you ask me. Because I don't have anything to complain about. I'm not, missing out on nothing. And I think that, but that's just, be in my own mind trying to appear to be a certain way. If I say I love this person and I'm in a relationship, it shouldn't matter what he's doing or what he's not doing. But that's the battle that I'm facing, and I've been going back and forth with this for a while, and I'm just like, so I try to make it a point where, no, this is mine. He didn't do this.
Right.
And so it's just, and then I talked to a therapist, and she was like, why do you feel like you have to campaign for everything that you're doing?
Ooh.
Like, she's like, that's none of anybody's business. Because I'm like, no, I bought this, and I bought him that, and I bought him that. And she was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Because people going to think, they're going to say whatever they want to. You don't have to be out here announcing what you're doing.
Right.
That's a relationship.
Move in silence.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a relationship. And there will come a point in time where I will be a housewife.
Lord.
And I'll be floating around
Lord,
and he is
help
out
that
here
house.
taking care of everything.
Help that house.
Yeah, but I think that
help.
that is probably one of the struggles. Just trying to. I don't want to give black woman a bad name, if that makes sense.
You're not.
Well, I know I'm not, but I'm just saying I don't want to scar the poor man and he never ever want to be with a black girl again.
Girl.
Like, but I tell him all the time, I said, I'm not your typical black girl. I'm educated. I got a good credit score. I got a decent paying job. Everything I have, I've obtained myself. I pray and I work hard and I play well. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. You know, I'm not saying that I don't want him around and I don't need him around, but I want to make sure that I'm okay. If you ever decide to just walk out the door,
right?
I need to make sure I'm good.
Right.
And that's where and I think that would be with any type of man, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you always want to make sure that you're self-sufficient. You never, and that's something that my husband taught me. He was like, you don't want to be dependent in the relationship. You don't want to be independent. You want to be interdependent. So like a little bit of the both.
Oh, I know how to play both sides.
No,
I can be,
Lord.
Hey, and I can be like, all right. So I get that, and that's the thing that I'm trying to be a little softer. I'm trying to be that lady that I think I am, but I'm probably not because I'm so rough around the edges,
girl.
But I just think that if you're in a relationship and you got questions, comments, and concerns about what's going on in your relationship, think about who you're talking about your relationship with. Hello. Because one thing I know for sure is that obviously, one of us is married and one of us not. But she's never came to me with marital advice. It's not saying, well, this is going on with my marriage. No, it's more so a generalized relationship conversation. Now, when we both become married, then the conversation will change. But I mean, for the most part, right now, it's like when you single, you don't ask single women for advice. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of women let other women get in their heads. That man ain't did nothing to you, girl. That man ain't did nothing to you, and you mad because you done told your friend he did something which he probably didn't even do. Now you over the situation. Your friend still hyping you up, trying to pitch you. Ain't nobody got time for that. Keep people out your relationship. Keep people out of your life, out of your home. And just take care of yourself.
Preach. And that's something that I had to practice. Because especially getting married, as soon as you get married, like the wedding, that's not the hard part. It's the actual marriage.
Okay, Dr. Phil said you out here preparing for the wedding, but you need to be preparing for the marriage.
Girl, marriage is a lot of work. And you have to, when you enter into that form of a covenant, you have to protect it at all costs.
Come on, covenant.
Yes, covenant.
So it's not a piece of paper, huh?
No. This is a covenant between me and my husband and God. Okay.
Oh Lord.
This is a covenant.
Come on. What's that movie with Taraji P. Henson?
What, Acrimony?
Girl, no. Girl, no. What's that? That movie with her and Morris Chestnut.
Oh, girl.
When she got married and they had that rope tied around her.
Girl, Why don't I remember that
Girl,
movie?
I don't know. It's with her and Boris Chestnut. Girl, why I keep calling that boy Boris? Morris Chestnut.
Because that's who she's thinking about.
Girl,
She's thinking about fine Boris Kojo. But while she's looking for that, I had to learn how to protect the covenant that me and my husband and God had entered into, because you know, a lot of third parties will try to come in and dictate to you how you should do your marriage, how you should treat your husband, how your husband should treat you, and so on and so forth.
Not easily broken.
Why don't I remember that? When did that movie come out?
Girl, sorry I had to cut you off, but girl, it came out in get off my
Is that on Netflix or Hulu? Not Easily Broken. Not Easily
You
Broken.
remember Not Easily Broken? You seen it?
Girl, clearly I don't remember.
Girl,
I don't remember.
Not Easily Broken, so you probably didn't see it.
Maybe I
But
did.
they 2009.
Oh, I remember that vaguely.
Yeah.
I remember that
it
vaguely.
too. But yeah, they was talking about the covenant and how he tied the ropes around, and they was talking about, you know, the rope is not easily broken because they're, you know, bound and holy in matrimony.
Exactly, and you can't let anyone in that will destroy that tie. So that could be friends, that could be siblings, that could be parents. I had to keep my parents out of my marriage. Not saying that they were interfering, but it was just so easy for me to, you know, when me and my husband would get into an argument, run to mom and daddy and be like, guess what, you know, my husband did to me.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, my parent, well, at least my dad was like, you know, don't be telling me what my son-in-law is doing. You know, you guys work that out. If you guys get into an argument, don't be calling me. Because I'll tell you, one time we got into an argument and I left his butt. I packed my stuff.
Girl, bye.
I got my duffel bag.
Girl, bye.
Packed my car up.
Come on, little rascal.
I'll tell you, I packed my stuff
that
up.
Hobo, bag.
Girl, I had my stick. I had my stick. Hitching for it. Well, I wasn't hitching for a ride, but I had my car. But
girl,
I packed up my car and I left, looking at him in the rear view mirror, looking real sad. I packed my stuff up, and you know what? I was like, I don't know where to go. I can't go to my parents' house, so I'm just gonna be homeless. I was riding that thing out. I was looking up public showers.
Oh, girl.
It was, yeah. I came back though.
Clearly,
that same night I came back.
you gonna do something like that? You need to stick to your guns. I would have just went to the all-night Walmart to add flavor.
You know what? I should have done that.
Girl, see, you don't think.
I do.
Girl, I'm Queen Patty. I'd have been at Walmart, really walking up and down the aisle, sprayed on some male Axe, and went back to the house.
Ooh,
girl, quit playing with me. Okay, quit playing with me.
But you know what? My point is, you just cannot let outside forces affect your relationship or get into your relationship.
Absolutely.
You gotta protect it at all costs, and
Absolutely.
I know that you're doing that with your relationship.
Of course,
too.
I don't. This is probably the only time you ever hear me speak about it. And I was even vague about talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I protect what's mine at all costs. I'm an extremely private person. My home is my sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
My relationship is something I do not play with.
Mm-hmm.
You will never find his face on Facebook or any social media outlets. You probably won't see us out together because that's us. That's me. I protect what's mine, and I play about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't play about him or my money.
Lord Jesus.
So.
Lord, well, you know what? I think we talked a long time.
Yeah, we did. It was fun. It was fun. We have to do this again.
We do. And I hope you guys enjoyed Miss Renee as much as I did, and I enjoy her every time, even though she gets on my nerves. I enjoy her every time.
What y'all need to hear is these unfiltered conversations.
You know what?
But we'll say that for a later date. I hope you guys will have me again sometime. It was really fun.
Of course. Now, if you guys have any comments or you want to say how much you love Miss Renee, make sure you email us at mindofmillennials@gmail.com. Also, you can share a comment on our Facebook page, The Millennial Mind. And then, Miss Renee, do you have any final comments?
Well, since you putting the plugs out there, I do blog.
Yes. Talk about your blog.
I do blog, and my goal with my blog is to make others greater than myself. And in order to make you greater than myself, I too first must be great. Mm-hmm. So I am on a quest to just help people with the things that I've learned in my life, the things I've been through, the conversations I've had with wiser people, stronger people. So I've written a blog. Feel free to check me out. www.itsapleasure, ITSA pleasure. I'm not gonna spell that out. ReneeBRenee.com.
How you gonna spell out it?
I know
it is without
all right.
pleasure.
Okay. www.itsapleasure, ITSAPLEASURE. ReneeBRenee.com. It's a pleasure. ReneeBRenee.com. That's my blog. I love to hear what you guys are thinking. And maybe in the future, we can collab and do some more stuff. But the Millennial Mind is popping.
Thank you.
And I hope that she and I are kind of on the same page with us. I think it's very important for us as young women to let people know that we have minds.
Exactly.
We have minds. We're very intellectual. We're very wise. We have a lot of knowledge. And our knowledge is not just based off books. She comes from a different background than I do, and we learn from each other. We feed off each other, and that humor and laughter is what keeps us going. So, like I said, check me out. It's a pleasure. ReneeBRenee.com. I've posted, I think, 6 blogs so far.
Look at God.
Yeah, I posted 6, and I probably post every week, but the frequency is just based upon how the spirit moves. So today, this week I posted 2 blogs. So it was supposed to be daily, and then the spirit didn't move like that. So
you know what? and what I'll do is I will put a link to her blog in the show notes. So if you guys didn't catch the whole URL, then you will have a link that you can click. But okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. And until next week, I will see you soon.
bye, guys.